Hey everyone, I'm really excited to share a story with you today that touched my heart, and I believe it will resonate with you too. In this story, the lines between species, nature, and even family are really blurred. Imagine a loving Labrador taking care of tiger cubs whose mother left them. What would happen if these grown-up, mean tigers were just thrown back together with the one they thought was Mom? Would they remember her, or would they heed the call of the wild? Join us here on Animals Need Love to follow this amazing journey and witness a bond like no other. Leo is a man with an unwavering passion for animals and a heart as big as the world he's determined to protect. Known for his work as an animal protector and environmental advocate, Leo spends his days caring for animals at the local zoo and his free time rescuing those in need. Whether he's helping feed the zoo's residents or organizing rescues for distressed animals, Leo's commitment to giving every creature a chance is unmatched. One morning, on his way to the zoo, Leo spotted something heartbreaking by the side of the road. A little Labrador puppy, dirty and trembling, left all alone. Without hesitation, he gently scooped up the puppy and took her to the zoo, where he knew she'd finally find the care and safety she deserved. He named her Bella, and she quickly became the heart of the place, charming everyone with her joyful energy and warm spirit. Bella and Leo grew inseparable. She followed Leo everywhere, her curious eyes taking in the sights and sounds of the zoo. She seemed especially fascinated by the large predators in their enclosures, watching them with an unusual mix of interest and calm. Leo himself was deeply involved in wildlife rescue and conservation, dedicating much of his life to helping animals in need. As a member of several organizations that work to save wild animals across the globe, he often received calls from staff asking him to arrange care or shelter for abandoned or injured animals. No matter the situation, Leo always went above and beyond to support these animals, finding them places in zoos or shelters where they could receive the attention and care they needed. Bella seemed to sense her rescuer's compassion and commitment. She was always at his side, quietly observing as he poured his heart into giving countless animals a chance at a better life. But neither Leo nor Bella had any idea that soon they'd have the chance to be heroes to 3 unexpected arrivals, ones who changed their lives. 3 years after Leo rescued Bella, a call came through that would set an incredible story in motion. This time, it wasn't about a typical rescue. An organization Leo often worked with had contacted him about 3 newborn tiger cubs who had just been abandoned by their mother. The tiny cubs were in desperate need of care, warmth, and nourishment, and without help, they might not make it. Leo didn't hesitate. He arranged for the cubs to be brought to the zoo, setting up a cozy, safe space where they could rest and recover. But as he looked at the fragile cubs, an unexpected idea sparked in his mind. He knew that Bella, his loyal Labrador, had recently given birth to a litter of her own and had a strong, nurturing nature. Perhaps, just maybe, Bella might be able to offer the little tigers the comfort and motherly care they had lost. He decided to try it. Holding his breath, Leo gently introduced Bella to the cubs. "Hey, Bella," he murmured softly. "These little ones need a mom. Think you can help them out?" Bella tilted her head, her warm brown eyes meeting Leo's as if she understood every word. She sniffed the tiny cubs one by one, her tail giving a tentative wag. One of Leo's colleagues watching nearby whispered, "Do you think she'll really take to them?" Leo nodded slowly, still watching Bella's gentle interaction. "If anyone can, it's Bella. She's got a big heart," he replied with a smile. "I just have to trust her instincts." With a gentle nudge, Bella lay down beside the cubs, curling her body protectively around them as they squirmed closer to her soft fur. Leo and his colleague exchanged a look of pure amazement. "I guess that's a yes," Leo said, grinning. Bella's maternal instincts kicked in almost immediately. After a few curious sniffs, she gently lay down beside the tiny tiger cubs, her warm body offering them comfort. The cubs, instinctively drawn to her, pressed close to her soft fur, seeking warmth and safety. Bella's body relaxed, and she nuzzled them gently, her tail swishing contentedly as they nestled against her. Having recently given birth to her own puppies, Bella didn't hesitate for a moment. She allowed the tiger cubs to nurse, her milk offering them the nourishment they had been deprived of. The hungry cubs latched on eagerly, not wanting to let go of the kind-hearted dog, who was now their lifeline. It was as if Bella knew exactly what they needed, and her deep maternal instinct took over, providing them the care they had lacked from their real mother. For the next 3 months, Bella was dedicated to her new family. Every day, she fed, groomed, and watched over the tiger cubs as they grew stronger and healthier. Her devotion was unwavering. The cubs, once weak and vulnerable, blossomed under her care. They grew quickly, their muscles strengthening and their fur becoming thicker. As the weeks went by, Bella's tiger cubs became more independent. They started to explore their surroundings, play with each other, and even learn how to hunt small objects. They were no longer entirely dependent on Bella for food, but they still sought her out for comfort and companionship. They had come to see her as their true mother, and Bella, in turn, treated them as her own, protecting and caring for them with the same fierce devotion she had shown her own puppies. As the tiger cubs grew stronger, it became clear that they needed to be separated from Bella. While their bond was unbreakable, they had to integrate with their own kind for their future well-being. The staff at the zoo, including Leo, knew it was time for the cubs to begin living as tigers, learning from their species and developing the behaviors they would need to survive in the wild. The separation was bittersweet. Bella, ever the devoted mother, instinctively felt the shift as the cubs became more independent. She watched them grow, their playful antics becoming more tiger-like, but still, she yearned for the days when they had clung to her for warmth and food. The cubs, too, seemed to struggle with the change. While Bella and the tiger cubs parted ways, the connection they had formed remained deeply imprinted on both sides. Bella continued to watch over them from a distance, and the cubs, now growing into powerful young tigers, never forgot the dog who had raised them. Months passed, and life continued at the zoo, but one summer, a powerful typhoon struck the city. The winds howled, and torrential rains battered the zoo as the staff scrambled to secure the animals in their enclosures. Leo, always protective of his charges, was working frantically to ensure that every animal was safe from the storm, but in the chaos, Bella and Leo were separated. With the storm raging outside, Bella, terrified and disoriented, couldn't find shelter anywhere. The winds howled and the rain pounded relentlessly, and in her desperation, Bella instinctively sought refuge near the tiger enclosure. She had no idea why, but something deep inside her drove her to the familiar place where her cubs had once been. She lay there, just on the boundary of the cage, barking anxiously for protection. From inside the enclosure, the 3 young tigers, now large, strong, and fully grown, heard Bella's calls. They came closer to the boundary, their eyes fixed on the familiar dog. Despite the glass separating them, the tigers instinctively recognized her and approached with a protective demeanor. Bella, trembling with fear, lay against the barrier, her eyes filled with anxiety, but also with relief as the tigers slowly settled on the other side of the glass. They didn't see the dog who had once cared for them. They saw their mother. Without hesitation, they laid down, huddling close to the glass, as though shielding Bella from the storm. Their bodies were a barrier, offering her warmth and a sense of security as the typhoon raged on outside. The connection between Bella and the tigers was undeniable. The tigers had grown into powerful protectors, and they were determined to guard their mother, just as she had protected them in their most vulnerable days. As the typhoon finally began to subside, the zoo staff started to assess the damage, checking on each animal to ensure their safety. Leo, soaked to the bone and covered in mud, walked through the compound, his heart heavy with worry for all the creatures under his care. He had been running around, securing enclosures and making sure everything was in order, but now, with the storm passing, he was looking for Bella. The man had always known that Bella was special, but today something was different. He could feel it in his gut as he trudged through the muddy pathways, his boots squelching with each step. As he approached the tiger enclosure, he saw Bella's familiar form lying at the boundary of the cage. He felt a mixture of relief and confusion. Bella wasn't supposed to be here. But then, his gaze shifted to the other side of the glass, and what he saw stopped him in his tracks. There, in the dim light of the clearing storm, the 3 tigers were huddled around Bella. Their massive bodies were lined up, one in front of the other, standing guard like a living barricade. They were still, their eyes locked on Bella, whose own gaze remained fixed on the glass separating them. For a long moment, the man just stood there, stunned by the sight. The tigers, once playful cubs, now fierce and wild, seemed to be protecting her. Bella lay there, trembling from the remnants of the storm, but a sense of peace seemed to settle over her as the tigers kept their watch. She wasn't alone. They were here with her, just as they had been when they were cubs. But this time, the roles had reversed. The tigers were now the ones offering protection. The man reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone, snapping a photo of the unlikely scene before him. He knew it was something he would never forget. As the last of the storm, Bella Diaz drifted away, Leo stood up slowly, wiping a tear from his eye. He knew this moment would stay with him forever. "Good girl, Bella," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion as he finally stepped back, leaving the 2 species to share their quiet moment of connection. As the seasons changed, the tigers continued to grow stronger, their instincts becoming sharper. But despite their wild nature, they had never completely severed their connection with Bella. They had become fully integrated into the tiger pride, but Bella remained an important figure in their lives. That's the end of today's story. What do you think of Bella's journey? Did the bond between Bella and the tigers surprise you? How do you feel about the love and loyalty that transcended their differences? Don't hesitate to give your opinion in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching to the end. If you find our video interesting, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with others. Finally, don't forget to turn on our bell and subscribe to our channel Animals Need Love so you don't miss any of our new videos. Thank you for your support, and see you next time.